All right, good morning.
Hey, I'm Andrea.
I'm Seth. We're going to do concrete. This is a new series. It's called On the Job DIY Concrete.
Yeah, and the intention of this show is really just to empower you. This is something that with the right tools and education you actually can do on your own. I own a health shop in downtown Rogersville and I'm a musician by trade. So I have never done this before. You're going to get to see me on the job for the first time. And if I can do it, guys, you can do it.
Multi-talented, fast learner, but you can do it. It's going to take grit. It's going to get dirty. Let's have fun with it. Come with us. It's a series. So this job is just the beginning.
Yep. So get your coffee. Cheers.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Driving to the job, day one. Talking about what would happen if, God forbid, I had to poop on the job. Seth seems to have great confidence that I could, I don't know, do what I need to do.
Maybe you got skills you don't even know yet.
It's true. Just getting out of the car, walking to the site. Not a bad view. Not a bad view at all. So you came here yesterday and had to fix somebody else's mess by pulling out old concrete that they didn't lay down right.
Yeah, basically. It was the day before yesterday.
Day before, right. Yeah.
And so now, instead of replacing it the way that it was done, we're going to dig it down, have proper depth so that it blends to the road and it's not such a sharp drop off.
Okay, so getting a job done right, it's all about prepping. That's what we're doing right now. So as he was saying earlier, you know, we got to make this ground even. So this driveway, there's not a big bump when you're trying to drive up and down. It's got to be even with this gravel road. And that's what he's doing right here. And this right here, this is my rake. And I'm going to come along behind him and I'm going to rake the shit out of this dirt. Right now, there he is breaking it up. It's not an easy job. By the way, concrete is not cement. Did you know that? Well, I didn't know that. But concrete has cement in it. But it also has other things, right, babe?
That's right, girl. Basically what it is cement, sand, gravel.
Yeah.
The cement has the chemicals in it. Only if you're wanting it to accelerate faster, you would put a speeding agent in it.
It's called an accelerant.
Yeah, yeah.
Right now I'm doing some lunges. Just getting warmed up for the day. He's over there shaping the road and I'm gonna rake it here soon, but he's not ready for me yet. And when you're in the job, it's important to keep moving. Objects that stay in motion. Oh shit. It's Murphy's Law. Whatever. Google it. Alright. Doing some pretty good reshaping here. A lot smoother as you can see. Hopefully. And now he's coming in with the shovel. Refining.
We're putting the form on the front. It's going to give us an 1.5 inch lip from the road. It'll look good, and it also gives us a total of 4-inch depth for the concrete so it doesn't break again like the first pour did.
See the river down there? We're talking about skinny dipping while the concrete's drying, so stay tuned. Okay, so you know, we set these wooden pieces down and there are forms, and you can't just sit them there without drilling them in, so that's what we're doing. He's got pins here to hold them in place. Do you just drill into that pin?
Yeah, it's got holes in it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like a flute. It's not a flute though, guys. Alright, tell us what you're doing now.
Just straightening these boards. Everyone's going to see this lip first. And if you've been driving down the road and you see where it's done wiggly, I'm sure you have, you notice that, and it doesn't really matter what the rest of the driveway looks like. If the first thing you see bothers you, just gives you that impression. But we're gonna make this front really straight.
Oh, sweet. So you're using that string to line up the wood,
yes,
to make sure it's right where it needs to be.
Yes. And it's not about height, it's about straightness.
Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm gonna be looking at the edge of people's driveways different from now on. That's for sure. Okay, so sometimes things happen, and check this out. Yep.
Yeah, well, there was a crack in the concrete, and between the time that I tore it out and then the homeowners driving over it may have chipped that edge. Kind of understandable. The concrete that was put in here isn't high PSI, and it doesn't have fiber in it. So just a little bit of cleanup that we're going to do to make the replacement as good as it can be.
And you can see what he's got there. He's getting ready to go to town on it. So he's taken away. Result, fresh cut.
Yeah, this bendable is really nice for the sharp radius that we're going to put on that.
As you can see, he's got that form up there sitting upright instead of down. Is that pretty
That'll give us
too?
our thickness of the
thickness.
concrete.
All about the thickness. It's easy to forget when you're on the job, you're working really hard, to drink water, but it's one of the most important things.
Thank you, baby.
Look how perfect he is. Drink your water. Stay hydrated. So now we're going to start working with the rebar. We got the forms all dialed in. I say we, but it was definitely him.
We're going to link the two slabs together.
Yeah, so it doesn't...
with rebar. And using rebar is good, but using rebar correctly. And that's what we're going to do here. We're going to drill into the slab in 4 places, and we're going to drive the rebar into it.
And that's to make sure that there's no separation in the future. We want this old job and the new job to become one.
Yep.
Okay.
In unity.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like we want the rest of the world to do.
And check this out.
Okay.
I'm going to do my next one on an angle. And the reason that I'm going to do that is so the downward stress or pressure or weight won't just pull the rebar back out of the slab. So if you can alternate your angles, it makes it a lot harder for it to still separate.
Smart. He's pretty sexy with his power tools, isn't he? I know. Sorry, ladies. It's drive the rebar time. Driving in those holes.
Yeah, you can hear a different sound, and you can feel when it stops to give. There.
Yep, it gets muted.
Yeah.
The way he was working that sledgehammer is pretty impressive, because I would have bopped to my knee.
No knee bopping.
All right. Not unless it's on a dance floor, right, baby? Finishing touches here, just smoothing it out, making sure there's no, steep slopes. We want to make that incline as smooth as possible, right, babe?
Yeah, blending it out.
Blending it out. Just so you guys know, he actually doesn't go to the gym. This is another one of the perks of doing this kind of work, is that you naturally can look pretty hot. Truck's here. It's go time.
Hoorah!
We got the, I guess call it a shoe ready. My baby's putting on his concrete boots now.
Always store them upside down.
Yeah, because you don't want wasps to get in there.
Wet feet.
Oh, wet feet. Yeah, wet feet. it's dry. They're having to add some water. No concrete goes to waste.
That's his job all the time.
That was serious, what he just squeezed through there.
Knows where he's going.
This is the infamous bull float. Look at that, just smoothing it out, just to smoothing it out. See all these butterflies just flying around? Well, they love concrete.
Okay guys, when you've got concrete that is sloped in multiple directions, that's when you have to use your bull float and actually move while you're doing it. You see how I've got a slope going up and then it curves around. You want to use this twist handle bull float is the best way to do it. The old traditional bull float, you had to raise the handle on it on your way back, and that's not ideal. But this twist handle works really good. You see how it's taking that contour, and the more that you do it to a certain point, the more perfect your surface is going to become. So you see that, and I say to a certain point because you can't overwork it. I'm almost there. What's great is this isn't the finished product. We're only in phase 1, basically, but the concrete's going to move fast today, so we only get about 2 or 3 shots at this.
Now we got Seth over here doing some edge work. This pretty cool tool. What do we call this tool?
This is an edger.
Edger.
Yeah.
Shocker. All right, so just using a hand float here. You know, we use this edger, and what you want to do is just pretty much just blend it, you know? It's pretty much like make the concrete your bitch.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
No,
actually, what you want to do with the concrete is respect it, listen to it,
yeah,
respond to it.
Sure.
See that?
Yep. Yeah, you see what you don't like, yeah, and get with it. That right there being a dip, you would want to go somewhere else, scrape that concrete on the bottom of your mag.
Got it.
If you've got patience with it and understand your tool, and of course the only way to have the patience when you have time, sometimes you have to really whip through it, but that's not ideal, you know, because what you're going to end up with is a subpar product. But what we're doing here is we're right on the edge of panic mode, but we've got it. It was only a 4-yard pour, and we're capable of much more than that. You've got a plan, right? And you have to have a plan. When you go in, if you let the concrete decide, you ain't getting paid for that job.
All right, so now he's got his joiner out here.
Yeah, the joints are to make the concrete crack in specific areas to relieve the stress, so that it won't crack in just random designs. People don't like the looks of a crack, so you hide the crack in this joint.
Not that kind of joint, guys.
You may find a specific board that is really straight, paint it, put a mark on it so that you don't use it to form with, and you've always got it in your truck ready to go. A lighter board is key. Some of these new pressure treated boards are so heavy it gets to be a nuisance out there on a slab trying to lug it around.
Woo!
Yeah, and having a little traction on the bottom of your, some people clean these really good, which is smart if you're going to be hand troweling a floor all the way down. But I I just like to have a little grid on the bottom of my boards, plus I'm too lazy to clean them. Yeah, when you move your board, just line it up a little bit with where you've already been. It helps the consistency of the line, because if you don't and it changes angle a little bit, you'll see that.
Now we're brooming.
You try to get it on one pass out and one pass back. A single motion. If you stop, then you've got to start over, because you'll see that line where you stopped.
Mm-hmm.
You want to keep it straight, so when you're on a slope, it takes a little bit of pressure upward, uphill that is. When you're brooming, a little bit of downward pressure, and you can see if the broom's not touching a certain place, you can kind of twist the handle a little bit to make sure it is.
We did it. We really did. Look at that. Just drying now. So it's lunch break, and we're just kind of hanging out over here. And I made sandwiches for us this morning. He made our breakfast. What's in there? Organic, everything. Don't judge me. Cabbage, tomato, chicken. Is it Dave's bread that you like? Avocado, Swiss chard. Mayonnaise, and the secret is you put a bunch of spices on the mayonnaise and the bread. That's how you do it, all right? If you take care of yourself, you're gonna have more energy and you're gonna do better work. What does that equate to? Well, more money, more calls, and people have good things to say about you. So take care of your meat suit.
So here's a turnkey look at the job we did on Wednesday. This is Friday. I like to let the form sit on the side for a couple of days, really keeping people from being able to drive on it. But this is the way that an edge ought to look. Andy did really well with her edging and hand floating skills. She is at the shop right now. So I'm here alone today. I've cleaned this up. What you want to do is make sure that you leave the site as clean or cleaner than when you came. That's when the neighbors will call. That's when you really get that word of mouth, and the second chance opportunities with customers calling you back with another project. So what I did is I took all that dirt and I put it in here. I'm gonna haul that home. I could throw it over the edge where I did throw the busted up concrete on down there. That was the homeowner's choice, but I'm gonna take it home and use it. These are some forms that I pulled off of yesterday's job this morning.
All right, project 1 complete. That's a wrap. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to smash that subscribe button. Smash it.